I think announced in the last couple of weeks, there's been a partnership between Chainlink and Swift, which if you don't know, Swift is essentially a network where messages are sent between nations or actually banks within different nations to send money across borders. So just like we talked about, it's making that flow of money overseas quick, accurate, secure. And it's something that we've seen kind of become weaponized. When you look at Russia being taken off of Swift, Iran being taken off of Swift, it's a really important network that can be used to easily send money between nations and, in that sense, provide liquidity for different currencies. You could see a currency, lose a lot of value in a short period of time if it was taken off of the Swift network because people weren't able to buy and sell it. It's no longer as useful as it used to be. So in 2019, there was more than 11,000 Swift member institutions. So that's banks, that's different financial institutions that can send money back and forth, and approximately 33 million transactions per day through that network. So significant usage across the globe. And I think this is something that has been in the making for a long period of time. I watched a couple interesting YouTube videos on, one of the global heads of partnership at Swift talking about how they had seen Chainlink as a super interesting project, 2015, 2016, maybe a little later than that, and wanted to partner with them. And like we talked about, like they want to be able to bring their off-chain data on-chain. And so what does this mean? Well, nothing is built out at the moment. It's not like we can go into the Swift Chainlink Oracle and determine what data is being stored on-chain. But the idea of it is that it's going to make it more transparent, more easy. It's creating more of those on and off ramps for crypto and traditional finance to be able to work with, company or countries' currencies and different cryptocurrencies. So this is just another example of why, one, Chainlink is such an awesome project and why oracles are important to bring, data into the blockchain world. But really, how we can combine traditional finance and some of the pretty solid guardrails we have around that into Chainlink. So, there's not a lot built out in this sense. It's really kind of an announcement that, hey, Swift is entering the space. I could see it being, a response or a premeditated action, knowing that Ripple has a lot of opportunity in this space to work between or facilitate transactions across borders. But no, pretty exciting to hear and definitely a big name to be added to the already impressive list of oracles on the Chainlink network. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just trying to envision how it's going to work together, right? Because you as we talked about before, and as you reiterated, it seems like Chainlink's goal is to bring, and hopefully I say this right, but off-chain data on-chain,
right?
And so I'm kind of curious as to what the partnership's going to look like if they're going to be able to make it, the Swift process, like those 33 million transactions you mentioned, are they going to be able to make it faster, easier, maybe easier to organize and create into a ledger? I'm kind of curious if it's on that side or if it's, if they're adding value in a different way. So I'm kind of curious to see.
Yeah. I think it's kind of difficult to tell. I mean, what they want to do is, really make it easier. Like I think I mentioned, Swift isn't the one that's actually sending the transactions. You can think of it almost as like a Slack messaging service for your company. It's really where a lot of the payment information is sent, but not the actual, currency is. I've got questions too. I wonder, why do you want to put that on a public ledger and how does that really help, anybody in that payment transaction. So we'll have to see. Maybe it's something where they're looking to go into a new space, and that isn't their traditional, utility that they provide. But Mata, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I'd be interested to see where they take this. I'm kind of a little bit, I don't know if confused is the right word, but I'm just not quite sure the direction that they're headed, right? Chainlink is building really cutting edge technology that obviously is attracting attention of pretty significant institutions, right? So in my mind, at the very least, an organization like Swift would start to partner with a crypto project. The reason would be because they're trying to, keep up with the times, if you will. So my question is, what does that look like from here, right? I don't know if it's exactly how we're kind of projecting it or if they have other plans. So it'll be interesting to see how this one unfolds. And I wonder if it's just kind of a way in order to get ahead in, the blockchain space before it kind of starts to become a little bit more of the standard as time goes on. So I don't know if they're thinking they might become irrelevant at some point or something like that. So they're trying to kind of get ahead of it. I don't really know. I'm not super familiar with Swift, so definitely don't want to talk any crap about them or anything, but just seems like an interesting partnership that I don't quite understand yet.
Yeah, and I think it could be one of those things where they're getting ahead of the curve. Maybe this is technology that's not ready for their utility at the moment, but could be in the future. And so you're right. Maybe they're trying to get ahead of the curve and prepared for use cases that as us retail investors maybe don't see. But who knows, when more institutions come into the space, this could be an extremely useful piece of data that wasn't originally in the ecosystem. Like we said, Chainlink provides a lot of that off-chain data to blockchains. And so, we'll see how this utility can be kind of useful in the future.